Nice.
Once again, a
How did you
hearty
make the
clap.
happen a second after you actually clapped?
It's confusing.
That was really confusing. It's going to be really hard to sync up later. I'm going to head out.
Bye. Bye, Ruth.
Bye, Ruth.
Bye, Ruth. Everyone say bye.
Bye.
Hello and welcome back to Game Jelly Season 2.5 Echoes of the Forgotten Island. This one has a subtitle. We love it. Corporate pushed us to do that.
Yeah. Thank you, corporate. Shout out to corporate.
Yeah. Game Jelly is a podcast where we design a game in real time. If you're listening to us on Spotify, good news, we have a YouTube channel where you can watch full video versions of Season 2.5.
You can see my intricate hand signals on the YouTube version.
Yes, and you can learn why we can't cut the crosstalk because we're using one microphone. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you can find 2 full seasons of Game Jelly already out on wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify and Apple Music.
And the rest.
Today, we are going to be designing a game or games for the back of cereal boxes. We didn't really discuss this that much in advance. And this might be a short episode.
So get excited for what we call a YouTube short.
A YouTube short. This whole episode will fit in a YouTube short. I'm Tieren Costello. I'm a designer and composer.
And I'm Keating Shahmehri, and I'm an artist and designer. And we didn't lie to the audience this time.
We didn't lie to the audience this time.
We're working on it, folks.
Yeah. Do you have any starting place for games for the back of cereal boxes?
So here's where I want to start. This game is going to be our masterpiece. This is going to be our magnum opus. It's going to be our calling. I think we should approach this like we were asked to design all games for the backs of cereal boxes. And I'm saying this is the purest form of our art. The next thing I'll say is at the top of my notes, I have the Cap'n Wants You crunchitized. So I feel like that's sort of the 2 places that I'd want to start.
Okay, so this is either or?
No. This is both.
Okay. The Captain Wants You crunchitized.
Exactly. Make sure to get the spelling right too.
So what I have as my last note is, could it devolve into some kind of MLM? I was kind of thinking if we could create an economy of cereal boxes.
I think it spans multiple cereal boxes for sure.
Definitely
and I
spans
love
multiple
the
cereal
idea
boxes.
Of an MLM. So I think that's really exciting. I feel like, an economy of cereal boxes where in one game, maybe it is like in one game you're getting some sort of currency that then you have to spend, like on Frosted Flakes, you're doing some sort of game with Tony. The note I have about Frosted Flakes is Tony takes it up a notch.
Tony takes it up a notch? Okay.
So actually maybe that comes later. Maybe we start with Raisin Bran.
Okay.
You're playing a game on the back of Raisin Bran.
Okay, I have to redraw my diagram now.
Yeah, thank you. You're playing a game on the back of Raisin Bran where maybe you're collecting raisins by exposing them to the light of the sun.
I have sort of felt like Raisin Bran is the going to work of cereal.
Mm-hmm.
So
it does make you work for it.
Yeah, so I do like this as the starting place of like, here's where you get your currency. Here's where you get that bag.
It's almost like a cookie clicker type game.
Okay, but this is on a cereal box?
Yeah. So you're not clicking, but it's like that sort of systems design kind of thing where you're making, let's say, raisins on the Raisin Bran box. And maybe that's something where it's like a word search or something like that.
Okay.
And so as you collect things there, then you can take those things that you collect in that box. It could even be some sort of code
Cipher,
thing,
yeah.
where as you're finding words in the word search on Raisin Bran, you're bringing them to, to maybe we go to Rice Krispies next.
Okay. I had an arrow pointed at Frosted Flakes.
Oh no,
No, we'll do Rice Krispies.
Okay,
I already
cool.
scribbled it out.
And so then on Rice Krispies, you're bringing the stuff from Raisin Bran, and then you're doing something different with it there.
Okay, so a cipher that you get from a word search on the Raisin Bran box. The cipher operates, the words you get from that operate as a sort of currency, which helps you, which allows you to, decrypt something on the back of the Rice Krispies box. This sounds like a fun game. We'll have like mazes above all this for the kiddos, and then there's the ARG on the.
You're like, the mazes are for the kiddos, but then at some point you're like, no, the mazes have been there all along.
Yeah, the mazes were part of the key.
Mm-hmm.
That is really in my eyes.
Dang.
So the raisins are the key. So the mazes are part of the key. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you've kind of gone through the most extreme versions of everything I had. One thing I'll say is, I wrote, how would you do a battle royale?
Ooh.
So something where you're trying to eliminate other people. So maybe this all converges. It would be great if we didn't have to use any technology.
Mm-hmm.
But I am thinking maybe this all converges on an online thing, on an online game.
So one thing I was going to say is... there could be some sort of hidden QR code, or maybe the mazes act as a QR code when you...
Oh, that's kind of dope.
It could be something where, like, if you overlay one maze on top of another, it forms a QR code. And then that takes you to a battle royale where your raisins, where the currency you gain in these games can be converted there. And so it's about you getting as much currency on the back of the cereal boxes into your game as possible.
There's an artists on artists episode called Actors with Movies That Don't Make Any Sense, or Actors with Projects That Don't Make Any Sense. That's kind of what I'm getting from everything you're saying.
I think the big important thing is that this game will be our masterpiece. Is sort of
okay. Wait, let me
so
underline.
Just underline that too.
I'm underlining the purest form of art,
perfect,
which I had written down. The Captain wants you crunchdized. Can we work on making this a little bit more fun, please?
For sure.
Because right now what we have is when you're eating Raisin Bran. I wrote click because I was thinking of like a cookie clicker. When you're on Raisin Bran, you're doing a word search. Mm-hmm. The words we're calling currency right now. You bring that currency over to a Rice Krispies box. We need to make sure that these are all sort of allergen-friendly cereals, so there's stuff that would appear in a home. Allergen-friendly, so that it's not. So it's like if the Rice Krispies are necessary to this game, we wouldn't want them to be like,
because we wouldn't want to exclude.
Yeah.
Anyone who can't have peanut butter Reese's Pieces for
exactly.
Exactly.
We could even do secret stuff, secret messages on those that say stuff like, aren't peanuts so good? Like, can we talk about this? I don't want to say this in front of people who don't eat them, but aren't they so good? Maybe that's idea. Like the secret code that's hidden in the what is it called?
Reese's Pieces?
Reese's
Pieces. No, that's the candy.
That's the
Reese's
candy.
Puffs.
Reese's Puffs. Yeah, secret messages that says, aren't Reese's so good? Isn't peanut butter so good?
I'm confused about what we're getting out of that, but we'll circle back to that.
We'll circle back to that. Okay, I'm going to draw an arrow pointing from Rice Krispies to Frosted Flakes to see if that sparks anything in me.
So this is, I think, where Tony takes it up a notch, because Tony's power is not at the start of the supply chain. It's in the middle of it. He can take your stocks up a notch.
Good stuff.
And I think he should also be sort of a mentor to our player.
Kidding. We can't make the mascots come to life.
I just think Tony, could teach us a lot.
So we take the words from the word search and we convert them into, we use them as, I think we use every word as a cipher on something on the back of Rice Krispies. It should be easy. It should be relatively accessible. I think it shouldn't be something that's like you should be able to do it while you're eating cereal. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be something that requires a lot of writing and stuff. It's just like you use it as a cipher. You have all the words circled over here. Okay, cool. That goes over there. I like that we're calling it a currency, but we can keep calling it a currency. And then whatever we convert that into is something maybe more out there, something that you wouldn't find on a word search.
Right.
So like either more like wild and wacky words or stuff that isn't even words. It's just like kind of sequences.
Right.
And you're saying taking those to Tony can take that up a notch?
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if what we need is more ideas, but I think when we roll this out, Lucky mysteriously disappears from Lucky Charms.
Oh, that's genius. Okay.
And so in Lucky Charms world, we're like, where is Lucky? That's the big promotion. All of the boxes have, just this empty space where Lucky should be. And so then once you bring these words once you take it to Tony, I think this is the sort of, this is the moment where our hero, we've already had the refusal of the call when they took it to Rice Krispies. But this is the moment where our hero realizes that they really have to step up, because Tony tells them about Lucky being missing and tells you that you have to seek the High Charm Council.
Okay.
And so that's where Lucky has maybe been banished to, is the High Charm Council.
Okay.
Is punishing Lucky for his crimes of spreading, almost like the guy who gave us fire.
I thought that was gonna come right out. I thought that was gonna come right out of me.
Yeah.
It's so on the tip of my tongue. Go on.
Lucky is giving the charms away too easily and has been punished by the High Charm Council.
J-Easy. That guy brings fire everywhere he goes.
It's so true. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Sort of J-Easy style, Lucky has been banished by the High Charm Council, is what we think. And maybe we circle back around to it. But anyway, Tony tells you have to seek the High Charm Council. And that's what the cipher is ultimately leading to. And the other thing that yeah, that's what's important,
What's important?
Is that Lucky is missing and has been banished to the High Charm Council, and you have to seek Lucky and the High Charm Council. And Tony tells you that, because Tony takes it up.
Okay, and where's the High Charm Council? Are they on?
Do you want to say Cheerios?
Okay. So Tony takes it up a notch. He somehow tells you. He somehow tells you to seek the High Charm Council, and you are meant to intuit that that's on the Rice Krispies on the Cheerios.
I think
also okay. No, it's fine.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
This is a creative back and forth.
Someone can just buy Cheerios. We still need a way to verify that they did this.
This is what the cipher is allowing you to do, though.
The cipher lets you.
It's letting you decode things from all the other boxes that are unlocking these messages and sort of revealing this narrative,
Yeah, I can totally see kids loving this.
I feel like the kids of today would be really
feel like, especially today, kids would love more than ever. Kids would love this. That's my feeling.
Yeah.
So Cheerios. And so then that's where the High Charm Council is.
And what's great about that is that will keep your heart healthy. And you're really going to need this because this is a pretty sad moment in the story.
healthy. So what happens? So do you want my input?
Yeah, no, this is a creative back and forth. But anyway, so you're at Cheerios now. And I think what's really important to remember is you've been on a journey already. You're at Cheerios, and they're gonna ask you, what's different between these two pictures? And there's gonna be, does this make sense? There's two pictures. One of them...
Oh, interesting. Where did you come up with this? So there's two different pictures.
Novel mechanics.
Okay, novel mechanics. There's two different pictures. You have to identify the differences between them.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I forgot that Honey Nut Cheerios does have a mascot.
Oh yeah.
What does Buzz have to do with all this?
Oh yeah. What's sort of the buzz of all this? That's sort of what you're asking. So okay, wait. So it all starts because everyone knows when you go to the cereal aisle, the first thing you do is pick up a big box of Raisin Bran. So it all has to start
exactly.
there. Obviously,
it's where all roads lead to.
Yeah. So you start at Raisin Bran, you get the words, you go to Rice Krispies, you convert the words into what will become the universal cipher for everything. We can no longer in good conscience call this a currency. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
You then take that universal cipher over to Frosted Flakes, where Tony takes it up a notch, tells you to seek the High Charm Council. The High Charm Council is at Cheerios. You're at Cheerios, and Buzz is there. I see it being... So first act climax was Tony taking it up a notch, I think. I see it being that you go to Cheerios, and Buzz dies. And that's the second act climax.
Buzz dies, but you find out that Buzz was on the High Charm Council.
Buzz was on the High Charm Council. So his last words, are go back to Raisin Bran. His last words are go back to Raisin Bran and solve the maze that's on there. Go on.
His last words are, you have to go back to Raisin Bran, and also, this is another thing I've written down, is the creep triplets have eyes everywhere. And so you find out that... Rice Krispies isn't as kind as they first seem. Those three are actually pulling a lot of the strings.
The creep triplets. Okay. The creep triplets have eyes everywhere.
And maybe this is quite literal, and you look at all the boxes and you notice eyes where you haven't seen them before. And those are the creep triplets.
So we're adding eyes. So we're adding eyes to all the cereal boxes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that also Raisin Bran should have a hidden mascot, like secret mascot. That should be a big piece of this.
The sun has a body.
The sun has a body. I was thinking there's something like behind the sun, or like a moon.
Oh, that's good.
Even like a moon edition of Raisin Bran could come out as part of this when you go back, because at this point we can do this. When you go back to Raisin Bran, it's become Night Raisin Bran.
It's become Night Raisin Bran, and there's whole grapes in the Raisin Bran because they didn't become raisins.
It didn't try, because it turns out grapes don't become raisins in the moonlight. Okay, so maybe... Okay, no. I think Cheerios tells you to go turn the box inside out.
Oh, that's
tells you to go turn, and then maybe the box inside out just has a recipe. Sorry, the box inside out just has a recipe for putting some bran flakes and grapes in a bowl together. It's like... It has a recipe for put some grapes in a bowl of bran flakes and pour milk on top. So it has a recipe for that. And then on top of that recipe, which makes your day more nice, it also tells you learn about the secret mascot, and then the secret mascot tells you that Lucky... Where's Lucky?
So I think we know the big bad is the Cap'n who wants you crunchitized. And I think maybe it could be Lucky has been crunchitized.
Okay. Lucky's been crunchitized.
We could even release a special crunchy edition of
that's so good.
Lucky Charms. And so it's like, So where is Lucky? I mean, my first thought is we could do it. You turn the Raisin Bran box inside out. You discover that Lucky has been crunchitized.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah. I'm with you.
At the site of Raisin Bran. And you're like, oh, this goes all the way to the top. The captain has wanted you crunchitized this whole time. And has the creep triplets under his thumb.
Okay.
And so maybe...
Grape bran flakes. I'm just catching up on my notes.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. Moon mascot tells you Lucky's been crunchitized.
Perfect.
And has the creep triplets under his thumb.
Okay, perfect. I guess my question is, what is the captain's motivation?
I imagine Lucky Charms are far more popular.
Yeah, I think they are.
So it could just be jealousy. There's probably something more interesting than that.
He's always wanted gold, which is...
Oh, true. He is a captain.
Yeah.
He would be looking for booty.
Yeah. Just weird because he's not a pirate. He did have a pirate villain at some point. I forget what the pirate villain's name was.
Yeah, it is weird that we just made up this piece of canon about him because he's not a pirate.
Anyway, so here's what's important is he wants gold, and there's gold at the end of the rainbow. There's infinite gold at the end of the rainbow.
So he's keeping so the final boss of this is you have to go and face him because he's keeping Lucky on the okay. Here's what it is.
Okay.
Oh, there's a bunny.
Aw,
that's so cute. He's keeping Lucky because he needs someone to lead him to the gold at the end of the rainbow. But Lucky refuses to do it.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So you have to go and face the captain. The captain. He might be possessed, or maybe his villain has taken over.
Right.
Maybe like this villain is actually, we think it's the captain. It turns out it's the villain disguised as the captain. So we actually have to release both of them from the Captain Crunch box. And I think what it is there's like a final cipher that you use to decode a secret word. And then everyone has to comment that word on the Captain Crunch Instagram.
Oh.
And then once enough people do it, they release Lucky.
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful. That is just a gorgeous ending.
Just so... It's
just gorgeous.
It's really touching.
Yeah.
I guess my question is, there's sort of a loose end with the creep triplets, I fear.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's setting up for a sequel.
I think it's setting up for a sequel.
I also don't understand. So actually, I know I'm the one who proposed this, but why does the captain release? Why does the captain release them if you comment this word on Instagram? Maybe it's like slay. Maybe if you comment slay on a picture of him, he's like, he shows mercy.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's it, actually. Maybe.
Maybe if you... Yeah, it might be true that if you commented slay on a picture of the Captain Crunch, he might release Lucky Charms.
Yeah, no, there might be something better than that. That's just my mechanical idea for how you can make this work. Because I don't know how else you're going to just find Lucky. You know?
Maybe it's something where there's a Lucky doll inside one box of Captain Crunch.
That's a really cool idea.
And then it's sort of a diverging timelines thing where if someone reports this, like if someone, submits this doll, then Lucky Charms is saved and the world, we bring on a new era of prosperity to the world of cereal.
You've done it.
If no one reports it, if no one, finds it and has done all this work to do it, then the world is plunged into a really bleak time.
The real world.
The world is plunged into, because without Lucky, what are we?
I actually don't hate that. The idea that you have to just keep buying and buying and buying more boxes of Captain Crunch.
I don't hate that at all.
I don't hate that at all, because then at some point you find Lucky, and if you send, and if you you can, or if the person who finds Lucky can choose to release him.
That's awesome.
Is there any way to maybe, here's an idea. Maybe it tells you, okay, wait. You go back to the moon, to Raisin Bran, you turn it inside out. The moon tells you that Lucky has been crunchitized. So you have to go back to Tony and find something and tell Tony this. And you have to go and tell Tony this. Tony will then tell you, look for this type of box. Look for this type of box.
That's so good. So it's a probability thing.
Yeah.
Where by learning more and more, by solving all of these different puzzles across all these different cereals, you can get closer and closer to how you'll know which box has Lucky in it.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly
so
it.
good.
And then if you do it wrong, one of the creep triplets is just in there. And they shoot you dead.
That's so good.
So that's my idea. Should we...
Right.
So I didn't think this was going to be very ripe for a minigame minute, but I'm starting to think it might be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do a minigame minute?
Sure.
3, 2, 1.
You have to figure out which blueberry is the right one.
Okay. That's going in the wrong direction. There's a maze, and the creep triplets are waiting for you in the maze, and they can attack you, and you lose currency.
That's perfect. There's a quiz about Bran, and the creep triplets just have put some fake clues in there.
That's really good. Buzz, you can try and you can rush him to the hospital where they'll try and fail to resuscitate him.
That's beautiful. Some of the treasure chests in Captain Crunch are plastic, and those ones are have little things inside, little trinkets.
That's great. You can play tennis with Tony. He just seems like a guy who would be into that.
He'd be good at tennis.
Yeah, and you'd find you'd just make a little tennis game on the back of it.
That's perfect.
Knobs.
Yeah, you can play foosball with Lucky.
That's a minute.
Or with the members of the High Charm Council.
Oh, I also think that the creep triplets have infiltrated the high
Oh,
council.
that's
I think
so good.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's great.
That's awesome.
This is great.
This is great stuff. I think this might be our masterpiece.
I think this actually might be the purest form of art. Ruth is not sitting in on this one. I think we should tell them that it was it was pretty low key. You know, it's kind of hard to come up with. It's hard to come up with stuff for this.
Yeah, if we really struggled because it's I don't care about these guys.
Care about cereal mascots.
Imagine that.
Imagine if we didn't care about cereal mascots.
Yeah, so this is some of our ideas, just to sort of get the point across. There's a little bit of spaghetti code in there, but I feel like we'll be able to make it work.
Yeah, we've fully coded this game.
Don't you feel like this is a little convoluted, your diagram here?
Well, I'm just writing the description because there's so... I wonder why this is convoluted.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, why did you make it so convoluted?
Okay. We'd like to thank Dylan Lynch for writing and performing our theme music, Ruth Demery for producing the show, and we'd like to thank you for watching and listening.
Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Really helps us out.
Really helps us out. So crazy to say that out
for
loud.
Real. I just feel so crazy to say that.
It just feels kind of crazy, but I don't know.
It's just what I feel.
It's just kind of what I'm feeling right now. So I'm just trying to be more true to myself in this year, 2024. And yeah, we will see you next time. This has been Game Jelly. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.